Your home for our Atlanta Falcons, Hawks, and Atlanta United. Your teams play here. Sports Radio 92.9, The Game.
Dukes and Bell, Sports Radio 92.9, The Game. We got nothing but love for our listeners, and our listeners have nothing but love for us. And I mean that. I have to tell you guys, as we started the show today, we talked about one of our family members, the great Hugh Douglas, who's now in Philly at WIP, one of our sister stations, lost his son over the weekend in a car accident. Two Morehouse young men, and one of them happened to be Hugh's son. And I can't tell you how many listeners have come up and said, Dukes, please let Hugh know, and we will, that we miss him and we love him and we got his back and we're lifting him up in prayer. So thank you so much to all of our listeners who are shouting out to Hugh and giving him hopefully positive energy, because it's a tough time, certainly for us and his family, but as they go through that situation. Mike, as we're out here, by the way, Napa Auto Parts, talk about the crowd, man, because people keep coming out and getting their Falcon flags. Does this give you a sense of what the energy is going to be Sunday?
There's going to be a buzz, man. We got a real buzz, and Falcons are here with these new collector flags, so come on down and get it. We've had a full parking lot since we got here at 2 o'clock. It's been amazing. We've literally ran into 100 of our best friends, hundreds, I should say now. Southside is Dukes of Bell Country. You've got till 6 o'clock. So another hour and a half, guys. If you can hear us, come on down. Say hi to the Falcon cheerleaders, get your new collector flag, and say hi to Dukes and Bell. And again, it's such a blast to get to see some of our friends. Some folks we've seen before, some we're meeting for the first time.
Yeah.
But as Carl likes to say on the show, without you, there is no us. And we got the best listeners in town, people that are passionate about their sports, certainly passionate about their Falcons, and they love their 92.9 The Game.
Big shout out to Mr. Johnson. He teaches at Utopian right down the street.
Right.
School teacher who just got out, and he came over. He's like, man, you guys are right down the street. I want to come through. So, Mr. Johnson, I'm giving you a big shout out because we love our school teachers, man, and certainly black male school teachers, the influence. I'm just being real with you. So we need more. And Mr. Johnson, thank you for doing what you do.
And I got to be honest, I'm just going on a limb here. I think Mr. Johnson's probably the coolest dude in class, because when your teacher looks like Marvin Gaye, I think you're going to have a good time.
No doubt about it. Hey, man, let's talk about what Desmond Ridder said, because, Mike, I'm going to read this to me. Read you this, and you tell me what you think. I feel like I have to prove myself to myself.
Oh.
I know what I can do, both mentally and physically. Now I have to go do it. That is what Desmond Ridder said, okay? That is a quote from Falcons that did the Falcon.com. That did an interview with Ridder, and they're asking him questions. That is a strong comment, man. I feel like
What do you make of that? What do you make of that?
I feel like I have to prove to myself. It's one thing to think that you can do this.
Right.
Anything. Whatever it is you do, okay? When you started doing it, whether it was 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago, whatever it was, you said, I think I can do this. And then you start doing it, and you have success at it. If you're a small business owner or whatever it might be, and then you start saying, man, I really can do this. But, Mike, you don't know you can do it until you do it.
Now, he's only got 4 games under his belt. He didn't throw us an interception. And it's frustrating because we believe in this guy. Now, you believe it. I got to be honest. If there's a sliding scale, Carl has believed more in Desmond than I have. I still want to see more. But the only person that matters in this conversation is Arthur Smith. And he's seen enough from this guy to believe in it. But his players, for what it's worth, his teammates have been picking him up. Everybody's saying that they believe in him. And now, just you said it, until you do it on a regular basis, you're not the dude. Once you're established, dude. I am now the franchise quarterback for the Falcons, not a game manager, not just some dude that everybody still wants to see us draft another dude. So
a placeholder.
Right. All that happens starting on Sunday to prove to folks who didn't see enough, like I didn't, or during the regular season last year.
I think, and we're going to let you hear what Drake London had to say as we talk about week 1, guys. It's go time. We're past Labor Day. It is time to do some things. I don't want to start off slow. I don't want to be in week 4 talking about, they come in and they're going to be good. Week 1. Mike, Drake London is saying he thinks Ridder is going to silence the doubters. Let's hear Drake talk about this.
I mean, I see it every day. I see his leadership role. I see his work ethic, and I see who he is as a person on and off the field. So, I mean, that's all going to come into light once he starts playing. And, I mean, he only had 4 games last year. People didn't really see all of Dez in an entire. But now they get to see him and
5 seconds.
He does. So I think he'll shut a lot of people up and silence those doubters for sure.
I hope so. And again, week 1, if we win, okay, I don't care if we win by 1.
Right.
We win. And I will feel good about the win. But, Mike, we know this. We're going to come back next Monday, and people are going to want to talk about the performance of Desmond Ridder. And if it's below average and we won, people are not going to feel great. I need him to be good in this first game to give people the confidence to feel good about moving forward. There are a lot of our listeners who've made their way down here to get their free flags from the Falcons.
Right.
They didn't go to camp. They didn't see him like we did. They didn't watch the practices. So they need that confidence on Sunday to be like, okay, Dukes and Bell, y'all been saying this dude can ball. Let's see what he's got. Right. That's why Sunday is so important.
Right. I mean, if he comes out and if he throws for under 200 yards and there's a couple of picks, there's a fumble, then it's going to be a real hard times for Dukes and Bell on Monday. But if he comes out, and you and I were trying to quantify just how much do you expect him to actually throw. I mean, look, 250, I'm going to take the under on that because I think we're going to run the ball so much. We're going to run the ball with Algier.
Yep.
Algier is not the forgotten man in this offense. Bijan, I know that Josh Kendall had some interesting opinion about all the touches and where does Kyle Pitts fall in that pecking order. We got a lot of weapons. Offensive line is better. The left side of the line is not a sieve anymore at left guard. And we saw, look, if you watch the Bengals game, I know it seems like forever ago, the ball was coming out. He was making really quick decisions. He was making good decisions with the football. And they've seen enough in practice. But as we said, it almost feels like we're trying to talk ourselves into this to some of the families. We're not paid by the Falcons to be hype men. I believe that this team is going to be a hell of a lot better. I think 10 wins. You think 11.
Yeah, the thing about Dez is he doesn't go into this having to do Superman human things, Superman things. Mike, just play within yourself. And we're going to be breaking this game down as we're going to take a closer look at Carolina. I'm not disrespecting them when I say, because I had a guy hit me up, Dukes, you keep saying we got to win week 1. Yeah, it's not disrespecting Carolina. I just know what it means to our city when we come out and we play well in week 1 and we've got all this turnover. We all are here. I cannot tell you how many people are in line for these Falcon flags right now.
Right.
You know what? You know why they're here? They want to believe.
Right.
They want to believe that the team is going to take the next step and we're going to start moving in a direction where we can start talking about being a contender year in and year out. That's why they're here. So, if you think that's disrespecting the opponent, it's not. It's just like we need this.
Yes.
We need this.
I want to be at Mercedes-Benz. I want it packed. I want energy. I want juice. I want that stuff that we haven't had since 17. This team has not, let's be honest, been competitive since 2017 when we could have gone to the Super Bowl again. We've got a really good defense. I know that it's maybe not what you expected and how they built it, but they spent money. They addressed the areas of concern. We got skilled position guys. I think Bijan is going to be the biggest star in town. I think if all goes well, I think Bijan will be up there with Trey, maybe even surpassing because the NFL is always number 1. Bijan is going to be electric. You went to the Cincinnati Bengals game, told you about the guy sitting behind me with his kid.
Yeah.
Look at that. You can't coach that. That's skills. He is electric. And I think a lot of folks are going to fall in love with this football team. And maybe, again, Carl, because we are who we are in Atlanta, some folks fall out of love with this team and they're on the fence. I think slowly but surely they're going to get back on board because this thing, I think, is in the right. We're in the right direction. We're finally out of salary cap. Hell, we got a good coach.
Yeah, that's the key. 404-726-0929. I've told you guys he will be the most electrifying player in the NFL. There's no doubt in my mind that's going to happen with Bijan. Or as his mama says, Bijan.